Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be sharing with you all my thoughts on Mechabreak. I've played this for a little over 30 hours, which is honestly crazy for a beta because nothing carries over, but it's fun. In short, I love it and I can't wait for the full release. It's between if you take Armor Core 6 combat with Gundam's mech and Overwatch's game modes, you get Mechabreak. However, there's a lot more to this game which we will get into. The game is developed by Amazing Seasun, a Chinese studio for Girl Cafe Gun and Snowbreak, which are both mobile games, and then there's JX Online, a popular MMORPG series. But they have been trying to expand beyond that with Mechabreak. The customization in this game is pretty in-depth beyond just the mech, as you can customize your own pilot with a plethora of options from the eyes, hairstyle, skin tone, voice, and even sliders for the chest and booty if you make a female character for your very own mecha maiden. I did notice at one point there may be other pilots too that may come at a premium cost using Corite, which is perhaps the paid currency for the in-game one. By the time this video drops, the beta should be open for those on PC to try out till August 13th, as the numbers continue to climb to its peak with over 36k players on PC at the time of this recording. Although it is set for release on Xbox and PS5 too, no date yet of when consoles will get a chance to try it, but hopefully soon. Shifting back to the microtransactions, this game will feature a seasonal battle pass called a Matrix contract, with the free and premium one for cosmetics only, I believe. And they even came out and have stated that we are dedicated to a fair system that provides no pay-to-win opportunities. We appreciate your feedback and are intently listening. How do you guys feel about this? Personally, for me, it is a free-to-play game, so it should be expected. However, I don't particularly like the fact that I have to hope for RNG to bless me with the colors I want in order to customize my mech, or be stuck to work with what I have. I hope the prices for cosmetics and things aren't outrageous and respect the player's time and money. Now for the mechs, or strikers as they're called in this game. Players can pick from 15 different preset strikers that fall into one of the 4 categories. Defender, which are more tankier characters. Brawlers, which are agile melee characters. Sniper offer range support, and support, which are your healers, all with their own strength and weaknesses, whether it's movement speed, arsenal of weaponry, ability to regen health or energy, etc. You get the idea. Once you've acquired the mech you want, you can also further customize them visually with the different colors on the parts, creating your very own unique striker. In the playtest, after completing the tutorial and 2 additional missions, you can queue up then with your friends, but at the moment you're unable to invite each other through Steam, so we had to add each other in-game before being able to play. This is set to release on Xbox and PS5 too, as previously mentioned, but no word on when console players will have their playtest. After completing those missions, the game does give you plenty of credits to try out all the different mechs as you like. In order to acquire the mechs, you have to either unlock them, or you can highlight over the mechs you want to try and use the trial mode, which will take you to the training area. There you can learn the different abilities of the mechs and play around with a bunch of different settings there, like placing mechs down to fight against, or practice a certain ability till you're confident. So there are several different game modes, all with different variety in terrain on large maps would look great as you're flying and moving around. Giant mechs make everyday buildings we see seem so small in comparison in this game. From the settings to the mechs, this game overall looks great visually, and the attention to detail is amazing. From your pilots to your mechs, I absolutely love it. Your pilot getting into your striker every time before a match, the ejection sequence to who gets the MVP. I love the attention to detail, and those at Seasun did a wonderful job. Now for the different game mode, Mechabreak is a 60-player PvP PvE mode where you fight against not only other players but also against other mechs roaming around the large map. Currently though, this isn't available in this playtest, but this would have been great to try out, although I imagine super chaotic with everyone's abilities going off all at the same time across the map. Then there's a 3v3 arena mode where players form a squad of 3 for fast-paced battles against the other team, and this emphasizes teamwork and strategy to secure the victory, as well as the 6v6 battlefield mode, which is currently available in this beta. If you're familiar with Overwatch's or Marvel Rival, it functions similarly. When you queue up, there are no duplicates allowed on the team. For battlefield mode, it could be one of 4 objectives in order to win. One is an arena where your objective is to eliminate the enemy team, and best out of 3 wins. This one I found the hardest to win, and honestly has started to become one of my least favorite to play out of the 3. I think part of the reason for me I feel that this is the hardest is the ability to synergize with my squad, whether in a party or with randoms, compared to the other objective based modes. Employing the right strategy in order to win and not chasing after a kill or rushing in without your teammates only to get team beamed by the other team and die. Next is domination, where there are 3 points on the map. However, only A is available starting out in the middle before B and C become available later on, and the first team to 1,000 points wins. Then there's escorting a payload or a cart in this game, where each team has their own and you're racing each other to be the first to escort yours to the end. This is a mashup between Overwatch's and Exoprimal if you're familiar, except here you can reverse each other's progress by standing on top of it, so knowing when to defend or when to attack and set back the enemy team's progress, meanwhile trying to advance your team's progress. Lastly, the other mode is disabling these beacons around the map, where you compete against the other team to be the first to disable them, and the first to 8 point wins. This was the other objective based mode I found really fun to play. Any of these, since they are objective based, I've noticed this, and myself included, sometimes can get lost in the sauce of fighting. It's easy to get lost in the sauce, but you gotta remain focused on the objective, which I noticed is more common when playing with randoms and also not having a heal or support on the team. Everyone wants to play offense and nobody wants to play as a healer, which can suck. I will say though, the overall combat for this game feels great and you can execute some amazing maneuverability. The game has that high-speed aerial combat along with the ground combat, whether you're playing solo, with friends, or randoms for those close and long-range encounters. It feels good moving around and boosting the dodge. Depending on the mech you use, some are slower than others. Meanwhile, Falcon is super fast moving around the map and just annoying everyone because he can be very hard to hit. This is where the combat reminds me a lot of Armored Core 6, although another friend shared his experience with me after playing it and said that it felt slow. Depending on which striker you're running, movement wise, some are quicker or slower than others. What do you guys think? I'm curious to know, so leave a comment down below. This game feels rewarding for team strategic play. There were times where we were behind several hundreds in points and were able to turn it around and secure the victory. As someone who's played Overwatch and many other FPS game, another thing I love about this game is how good it feels when you team kill, whether it's you with another teammate or several beaming and meleeing a person down. It's fucking fun. Now for things I would like to see improve in this game, I think the biggest one is the default volume for when you boot this game needs to be low. It is too damn loud. Oh my goodness. Then there's the HUD option, which is currently 1, but I believe HUD option 2 should be the default. Also during the tutorial, maybe there should be like a prompt of some sort to give an indicator of it so players can choose what they would prefer between the two. Give us the ability to access the settings before we load into the game, before ever customizing our character, so that way we can lower or disable certain settings like volume, motion blur, graphics quality, etc. If you're playing this game on keyboard and mouse, the default controls for this aren't the greatest, at least for me personally, where the different ability is tied to either 1, 2, and 3, and I found putting Q and E instead works better for 1 and 2, and then for 3 maybe try T, the thumb mouse button if you have that, or Alt works. A way to disable or close the global chat, as well as have a better filter while we're waiting for a game or if you're streaming it, because some people in there definitely be saying some very unsavory things. Perhaps it's more of a me issue than it is the game, but I personally found myself having a hard time with tracking targets moving about during combat. Hitting someone and then they move and then I just end up losing wherever it is that they're at. For the arena mode, I think this should be best 3 out of 5 rounds instead of best 2 out of 3. It gives time to figure out the way that the enemy team plays and adjust your strategy accordingly. And right now with the way that it is, I feel like just doesn't really allow for that. Lessen the cooldown on the modes. I don't remember if it's all the same or specific ones, but instead of 20 seconds to come back in, make it to about 10 seconds or so. I'm not sure how I feel about the ranking system in this game. I think it should have its own playlist rather than being integrated the way that it is now. It seems like the ranking is more based on time played and win-loss ratio rather than skill, which I don't think it's a good metric if you're trying to base it off of skill. The pinging could be better in this game since with all the visual clutter on the screen, it needs to stand out better, maybe with a bold red or yellow something. It's hard to see it sometimes. I think now that the beta is open, I've seen people mention, as well as seen it myself, where people are leaving mid-match and there's no penalty for it. So there should be some sort of penalty if you decide to leave the game at any point. I haven't played this on controller, but I have friends or people in my chat who said they have. The controls there could be better. So far this seems like it's more ideal for keyboard and mouse controls than it is for controller. Better optimization and performance for this game, but for the most part it's fairly smooth. And lastly, just better balance overall for all the different mechs so it's fair. In all, Mechabreak has been an incredibly fun experience for me during the beta. Since I have 30 hours on it alone for a freaking beta, mind you, if that tells you anything. The game blends Armored Core's combat, the Gundam aesthetics, and Overwatch style like modes create a very unique and engaging experience. I think if you're a mech lover to any capacity, you should check out this game and give it a try. The deep customization options from your pilots to your mech to the intense gameplay stands out despite some of my issues with the game. I personally love what I've played and experienced so far and look forward to the launch and seeing how the game evolves. If you made it to the end of this video, let me know, what do you like most about Mechabreak? And on that note, that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.